how many NBA players are more famous than Caitlin Clark? LeBron, Steph, absolutely.
Maybe Durant.
That's what I wrote down. KD, maybe. Outside of LeBron and Steph, she is the most well-known basketball player currently playing in the United States.
Yes. And I don't think that's close. I think I might have said this to you last year, that I thought the most famous basketball player under 30 was Caitlin Clark. I don't think it's particularly close. She is demonstrably and inarguably more famous than all of this generation's NBA stars.
I'm surprised Nick Wright was allowed to say that. But anyway, they're absolutely correct. We're not talking about skill level. We're not talking about any of that stuff. But there is no player in American team professional sports that has the importance of Caitlin Clark to the WNBA. Think about it.
Clark had 25 in the first half, not missing a beat. Finger roll there. Catch, shoot, 3. 7 made threes for Clark. Part of a 19-0 run as they go on to win 102-88, handing New York its first loss of the season. Clark with 32 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, and 2 blocks. That's just the third game in WNBA history with those numbers. Welcome back, Caitlin Clark.
Undeniable exists for a reason, and it applies to Caitlin Clark. She is just absolutely undeniable, and her return to the Indiana Fever showed it once again. It felt like a jolt of energy to the WNBA, obviously to the Indiana Fever, who looked like a completely different team, as Caitlin Clark put on a show that only she can in leading the team to a win over the New York Liberty, the first L for the Liberty on the season. Clark made those passes that are just gorgeous dimes. She hit the logo bombs, 3 of them in 38 seconds. The kind of things that just make you make incomprehensible noises, like, ah! Like, you can't control it when you're watching it because she's so exciting. She's the most exciting basketball player on the planet. She got help. Aaliyah Boston with big rebounds. Kelsey Mitchell was clutch late. Lexi Hull was everywhere. Sydney Colson even stepped up. But Caitlin Clark stepping back on the floor made all the difference in the world.
The mainstream media lies about the WNBA like they lie about everything else. And if you don't lie about the dump, if you tell the truth about pretend basketball, the diva of Dump Divas, Kat Engelbert, refuses to let you cover the league, which is actually a blessing because those who cover the WNBA, they're constantly having to deal with players asking to borrow pesos. All kidding aside, I cannot stand the dump, but credit where credit is due. The ladies put on an absolute show yesterday afternoon on ABC. Not only was the basketball good, which is extremely rare in the WNBA, most of the time, the pretend basketball players in this league look like untrained professional wrestlers. But yesterday, the WNBA featured 2 teams who actually know how to play basketball, and they also proved where the focus of the league should be. Forget about Angel Reese. Forget about trying to fabricate this rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. In order to have a rivalry, you got to have 2 stars. 2 teams on, obviously, Caitlin Clark is the star of stars. She is on a level all by herself. There's not a player in the league that's capable of reaching a tenth of her drawing power. Therein lies the problem. This is exactly what I'm talking about. The WNBA and their pretend friends in the mainstream media, they have wasted the last 12, 13 months trying to make Angel Reese and the Chicago Bravado into something they are clearly not.
Breaking tonight, the league's brightest rising star subjected to a surprise drug test right after a historic performance. Is Caitlin Clark being targeted, or is it part of standard protocol gone wrong?
Stay tuned.
Just 2 games back from a quad injury, Caitlin Clark exploded onto the court with one of the most electrifying performances in WNBA history. 32 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, only to be slapped with her 11th drug test of the season. Is this routine protocol, or something far more sinister?
Stay tuned.
Summarize Clark's 5-game absence with quad injury, evidence of her comeback. 32 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, a triple threat explosion that snapped the Liberty's perfect start. Minutes after her dominating return, Caitlin was reportedly dragged for her 11th drug test of the season, over triple the usual. And yes, it happened right after that Liberty upset. Fans didn't just raise eyebrows, they erupted. Some joked she was tested for being too good. Others demanded tests for the officials instead. To be clear, WNBA protocol mandates random testing 3 times/year. 11 tests for one player is virtually unprecedented. This isn't Caitlin's first brush with league politics. In college, she survived criticism over her swagger and promo-heavy presence. So far, official silence. No league statement, no confirmation. Commentators are picking sides, fans blasting the dishonorable double standard, while some defend league integrity. Beyond drama, there's a ripple effect. If stardom triggers suspicion, do aspiring athletes hesitate to rise? Here's where this gets critical. Clark and the Fever face a tough playoff push. Another drug test could come at any time. Adam Silver and Sue Bird? Their responses could define league policy. What's scarier? The game on the court, or what's happening off it? Next drug test could derail more than her season. What do you think? Should Caitlin submit to random tests, or is the league crossing a line? Comment below. Coming up, exclusive breakdown with legal analysts. Can a top athlete fight back in court? Subscribe so you don't miss it. What happens when the most electrifying talent in women's basketball returns and the league slaps her with an 11th drug test in one season? Is Caitlin Clark the WNBA's greatest asset or its biggest threat?
Tonight.
Just after coming back from a quad injury, Caitlin delivered a jaw-dropping 32-point performance against the undefeated Liberty. In the minutes that followed, another test, bringing her total to 11 in a single season. WNBA players average 3 drug tests per season. Caitlin has had 11. Let that sink in. Show. Bar chart comparing Clark's 11 versus league average. Social media exploded. Fans joked. Memes spread. Analysts raised red flags. Many asked, why is excellence a red flag? Caitlin Clark isn't just a top rookie. She's a phenomenon. NCAA all-time leading scorer, multiple national awards, and named to Forbes' 100 most powerful women. The WNBA sells itself as progressive and empowering, yet this episode contradicts that narrative. Behind the scenes, league power plays. Commissioners, competition committees, star control. Could Caitlin's brilliance be seen as a threat? Behind the scenes, league power plays. Commissioners, competition committees, star control. Could Caitlin's brilliance be seen as a threat? The stakes, league credibility, sponsorship dollars, fan trust. Miss this moment, and the story becomes the WNBA that feared its superstar. What's the fix? Transparent testing standards, star support campaigns, celebratory storytelling, not suspicion. This moment is historic. Caitlin Clark is playing for her legacy, but the WNBA is fighting for its soul. The recent controversy surrounding Caitlin Clark's drug testing has ignited a storm that reaches far beyond basketball. It's become a defining moment for how the WNBA treats its stars. After delivering a historic 32-point comeback performance against the undefeated New York Liberty, Clark, just returning from injury, was abruptly subjected to her 11th drug test of the season, far surpassing the league average of 3. While drug testing is an essential part of professional sports, fans, analysts, and former players are all asking the same question: why Caitlin and why now? To many, this doesn't feel like protocol, it feels like punishment for success. Clark is not only the most high-profile rookie in the league, she's a once-in-a-generation talent whose presence has redefined attendance, viewership, and relevance for the WNBA. Instead of celebrating her return, the league appears to be questioning it, sending a dangerous message to athletes across the sport. If you shine too brightly, we'll dim your light. The emotional toll of this pattern cannot be overstated. Imagine returning from injury, putting on a show, and immediately being treated like a suspect. The WNBA's leadership has remained silent, but their actions speak volumes. Fans now sarcastically joke that another test is coming, every time Clark plays well. This isn't just a PR disaster. It's a cultural misstep, one that risks alienating not only Clark, but the millions who are inspired by her. Whether it's jealousy from within, outdated policy, or fear of letting a true superstar lead the brand, the implications are clear. If the WNBA continues to treat its brightest star with suspicion instead of support, it may destroy the very future it claims to be building. What's unfolding right now with Caitlin Clark isn't just a scandal. It's a revealing glimpse into a league that seems dangerously disconnected from its own growth. After single-handedly reviving public interest in women's basketball, breaking records, selling out arenas, and making the WNBA headline news almost daily, Clark is being rewarded not with praise, but with suspicion. 11 drug tests in a single season? That's not random. That's targeted. And the silence from WNBA leadership only deepens the outrage. Fans are left wondering if this is about fairness or fear. Is the league afraid that Clark's dominance will overshadow others? Is there internal resentment over the media frenzy she commands? The truth is, Caitlin Clark has done everything right. She's professional, humble, and electrifying on the court, but the league's response feels like a betrayal. Rather than embracing her as the face of the future, the WNBA seems to be caught up in outdated politics and ego-driven decisions. Instead of leaning into this moment of generational transformation, they've manufactured a controversy that has divided their audience, embarrassed their brand, and placed their most valuable player in an impossible position. The real danger here isn't Clark. It's the leadership failing to realize that in this moment, the world is watching. The question isn't just whether Caitlin Clark can carry the league. It's whether the league is even ready to be carried. In the history of professional sports, very few athletes have managed to change the trajectory of an entire league the way Caitlin Clark has. Her arrival in the WNBA was supposed to be a celebration, a moment of pride, evolution, and long overdue recognition for women's basketball. And yet, what she's facing now is nothing short of shocking. Imagine putting your body on the line every night, battling through injuries, lifting a struggling franchise, delivering highlight reel performances, and then being dragged into a cycle of suspicion. 11 drug tests, 11 interruptions, 11 moments where the league said in so many words, "We don't believe in you." That's not protecting the integrity of the sport. That's attacking the integrity of a person. The fact that the WNBA chose to question her right after her most iconic comeback game says more about their insecurities than her abilities. And what's worse, Clark hasn't said a word. She's carried it all, silently, professionally, and with the grace of someone far beyond her years. But the damage is real. Fans are outraged, sponsors are uneasy, and a dark cloud now hangs over what should have been the league's brightest story. If this is how the WNBA treats its heroes, then what message does that send to the next generation? That no matter how great you are, you'll be punished for your excellence? This isn't just a controversy, it's a wake-up call. And the clock is ticking. The league can either course correct and stand behind its brightest